everyone, this is my much delayed RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars Season 5 finale recap. I apologize for being so late. I'm sure I'm going to get no views, but the few of you who do comment, besides the fact that I love you and I so love hearing all of your opinions, you're all so smart, but I'm just going to get it done. And it took, but part of the reason why is that I had an online conference. I said at a conference, but I meant like mentally at a conference. It was all online. And it was like all day, every day, and it's taken me all week to catch up. But that's not the only reason. I could have told my husband, hey, let me lock the baby out, let me finish. But I finally was able to really quantify that I was dragging my feet because this finale makes me sad. Let me kind of break into that. No one else has to feel this way. I know a lot of people who felt very strongly that so-and-so deserved to win. But I just felt like, I don't know that there's ever been a top three that were so strong. But whenever that happens, where I have a hard time, like, was it Kimchi, Courtney Act, and was it Bob the Drag Queen? They were all, and I had a hard time with that finale if I got those right, where you just felt like there was so much reason why any one of them could win, especially Kimchi. To this day, I really feel like somehow deserved to be a winner, but then you look at who they're up against and you go, well, so do they. They deserve to be a winner as well. So heading into this finale, I had some complicated feelings, and I realized that it just doesn't seem fair. So in the end, so spoiler, Shea wins. Shea deserves it. I have no problem with Shea winning, but I just can't feel happy about it when Jujubee walks away with $0. At least Cracker's walking away with $40,000. She won 2 lip syncs where the money had rolled over. One was Jujubee's. If I have the order correct, but I know that she won about, and this is me going off of a meme I saw, but I knew that this was someone happening, which is Cracker had a great run. I don't always agree with her wins, but I do agree with her being at the top. I love Cracker. I think Cracker's an amazing performer. I love her YouTube channel. I find her enchanting and hilarious and funny, and I would gladly go to her show. Same for Jujubee and Shea. So I think her walking away with $40,000 is fine. I believe Shea walked away with $130 between her lip syncs and the grand finale. And I don't have a problem with that. I don't know that she, sometimes even when they didn't like her outfits, I liked her outfits. The internet liked her outfits. She was there for the acting challenge, for the improv. She showed up to every challenge. She crushed them. All of that. But it just makes me sad that Jujubee's walking away with $0. Now, I've always said that it's not just about the money, but I feel like it's just so hard to be, for me, personally, to be happy for Shea when Jujubee has been in the top 3 times. She has been a finalist 3 times, and she has shown up and done her work for a decade. So I think that summarizes my feelings. I'll go a little bit into the episode, but that kind of summarizes my feelings. So it's really hard for me to be, like, I don't disagree with the results, but it just makes me sad that it shakes out this way, where someone who has been, and then there's, it's like a lot of it goes, well, Jujubee showed up for the challenges. She was funny, she was interesting, she was great on the runway. They saw her real personality. But it's also things like her story about recovery is something that we need. We need to hear it. I hope that people take advantage of that, and they she's more than just that. But she is amazing and that. It's not amazing but that, she's amazing and that. And she has such a strong story for people. It's very common in the creative field. You hear it all the time where people are scared that if they get sober, they won't be able to be as creative and fun and won't be able to be loved. There's a lot of, like, in the writing community, like, write drunk, edit sober. I know it's not quite as much in the writing community, but also I know in the comedy community, there's this fear that if you don't take if you go on stage and you're funny and crazy and you drink, who will you still be funny and crazy if you don't drink? And I think it's such an important story. It's such an important, I know you don't give people crowns for that, but also her confessionals were amazing. Once again, does the competition really take that into account? Not really. Should it? Maybe not, but it just kind of feels like we wanted that Disney ending where she's like, all three of you are winners, and it didn't happen. And it's kind of like that when they use the Shantae, you both stay, and then the next week they send someone home on the most amazing lip sync you've ever seen. Anyway, hit me up in the comments. I totally understand if you feel differently. It's just, this is my reaction to it, is that I'm so happy for Shay, but it still just makes me feel a little sad for Juju. Less so for Cracker, because Cracker's at least walking away with a good chunk of change. Okay, so I think that's kind of part of it. It's also not Cracker's third time in the finale over a period of a decade. So I kind of feel like, so it's not that I go, oh good, I'm glad Cracker didn't win. Love Cracker. I love all three of them. I love all three of them. Okay, so we get into the episode. We never really got a good explanation. If you heard a good explanation as to the phone call, because the phone call that Ru got was supposed to be that someone more powerful than Ru called and is going to make her do something. My guess is that there was something they were planning to do that they had to cancel because of the pandemic, and it was the phone, and they said, well, should we cut out the phone call? But there was so many references to it that they weren't able to do it. If you heard behind the scenes, like, oh, they had planned to do this, but they couldn't because of the pandemic, let me know. That was never really resolved. I am a fan of them bringing back all of the queens. I wonder if part of that is because so many people have figured out the order that people go home based on the fact that they're not around. I like them having come back, and the fact that they couldn't do a normal reunion. Did they know, or was this just totally coincidence? Because we kind of got a real reunion show without a real reunion show. I like them all being there. I loved seeing them all on the runway. It does feel right to have them there. I don't know. I can't remember. It was just a joy. It was, I mean, they've done it before, obviously, when they did Trixie, they all came back, but I felt like it was a different setup. I feel like this was a lot more natural. I'm guessing that because of the big drama with Alexis, looks like Mayhem, this hit May. Now, Mayhem may just be an amazing actor, but it looked really genuine when Mayhem was like, wait, me? How did I get drawn into this? It sounds like, I don't know. I'm not going to, I don't know. I'll tell you, if India's lying, she's a good actress. I will back up that Jujubee quote, because I was like, wow, she really does seem... But anyway, my guess is that because that was so fresh, they just went ahead and filmed it. So because they figured it's going to get hashed out anyway, we'd rather have it on film or tape or whatever they're doing. They'd rather have it captured, or digital. They'd rather have it captured than all of the steam coming out of it, and us not, as the viewers, not seeing it, and then trying to bring it up later on, and everyone's like, oh no, it's okay, it was a misunderstanding, whatever. I liked them all being there for the Untucked. It was kind of a neat, I don't know, I can't say that this is the first time any of this has happened, but somehow it was the first time that it felt really cohesive and they were invited. That could be the editing. It could be that they knew they weren't going to have a reunion, so they used a lot more of it, but I'm a fan of that. So we have our very typical, like every finale ever, they're going to do a personalized line to a RuPaul song. No surprise there. Shay's on top of it. Jujubee is struggling. But she's so delightful. You're like, I don't care. Let's have her struggle the whole time because she's so much fun. They do a performance, excellent performance. But like I said, I kind of watched all this like this because it just was like... I kind of knew what was going to happen, and of course, by the time I watched it, it had been totally spoiled. I didn't even really try to avoid spoilers because I knew it was going to be so many days, but I didn't seek them out either. But of course, the news story about Netflix spoiling the show for Netflix viewers was one of the first things I saw, and so it was kind of like, and I also just, like I said, because it wasn't like a ee kind of moment, it was more of like a Sophie's Choice kind of moment, to use, which I had to go look up to make sure that was the correct term, and boy does that sound like a depressing movie. Would never watch it. But it just seemed like there wasn't a lot of great options other than a triple crown or even a, like I said, I love Cracker, but even a double crown, because Cracker at least can walk away with some money. I don't know, maybe a triple crown. You know, and I have the same issue with sports where the winner gets $1 billion and everybody else gets a kick to the butt. I'm not a fan of that. I kind of feel like, yeah, they can say they're, finalists, but, and yeah, you know, I was trying to make like athletic comparisons where, you know, they're all medalists, but then I go, well, they're all finalists. So I don't know. I don't have a really good justification. Maybe I'm just depressed in real life, which would not be a stretch. And so it just made me sad. I've loved Jujubee since I first saw her. I've been watching the show live since it started. And I loved Jujubee in her season. I loved her in All-Stars season 1. I loved her in this season. And so it's just, you know what I mean? I always feel like All-Stars is about righting a wrong. It's about, like, now that we've stepped back and we've experienced the whole season, who really should have won? And I don't mean should have won in that to negate the winners, because I still like the winners. I don't have anything against Jinx, though even though it kind of was like, this is Alaska's All-Stars because she should have won her season. But I don't think, but you know, if I went back, I'd do it all over again and I'd root for Jinx because Jinx was so unique and so camp and all that. But it's kind of like who that season had the ability to win is a winner and just didn't quite pull it off. And I think that's kind of what All-Stars ended up being. And I think we all came in, well, I came in with kind of this idea that, like, this is Shay's second chance. And I think a lot of us had that attitude, which isn't fair, of course, to the competitors because it's not a cumulative score across 2 seasons. So yeah, I guess I've said it all. Shay did kill the dance. She's beautiful. She's amazing. She has stepped up every chance. But I can't help feeling sad that there couldn't have been 3 winners. Or that Juju isn't a winner. But I hope she gets the Katya storyline, which is that she goes on to be, or Kimchi. Kimchi's doing great too. Go on to have this amazing career that we get to see her everywhere. I'm still pushing for like a travel show or like some sort of like pseudo reality where Juju can be Juju and we can just spend a week with her. You know, once a week we can go spend time with her and she's going to be hilarious. And maybe she gets her own like after show or something, because I just want to be around her. But congratulations to the winners. Congratulations to all the finalists. They did amazing the whole season. And we look forward to seeing you again. Bye.